who do you want to be?
Mm,
And that you get to literally design whoever you want to be. And
absolutely.
and let's just say, for example, you've had a dream of becoming an author, or you have a dream of becoming a musician, or a dream of starting your business of, I don't know, creating paper flowers. I have no idea. Just look at like you have to decide who that person is that is going to fulfill that dream. Who do
Yeah.
you need to be? What is your day-to-day life like? Like
Mm.
how do you wake up in the morning? How do you eat? How do you meditate? Do you journal? Do you go for a walk? Like what are the things that you have to do? Who do you need to be to make that dream come true?
Welcome to the Soulful Sound podcast, where you will find conscious, inspiring content to support your healing and transformation. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I want to extend a heartfelt invitation for you to be part of our community, where more insightful conversations await to guide you to heal, grow, and thrive. Simply click the subscribe button. It means the world to me, and your engagement is a big part of us reaching the hearts of other beautiful souls like you. Thank you so much for joining, sending you love, healing, and sound wherever you are. Welcome back, everyone, to the latest episode on the Soulful Sound podcast. I'm joined by the wonderful Wendy Valentine, who is the author of Women Waking Up, the Midlife Manifesto for Passion, Purpose, and Play, and the host of the Midlife Makeover Show, which is a top-rated podcast for women in midlife. Wendy helps women kick fear to the curb, reignite their spark, and wake up to what's possible. Welcome, Wendy. Boy, do we need that.
Thank you. I've enjoyed just listening about myself. I was like, wow, who is this woman? How can
Yeah.
I meet her?
I get that a lot. A lot of people say, "Oh my gosh, hearing an intro about me at the start's quite cool." I'm like, "Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is all about celebrating you and the much needed work you're doing. So why not kick off
Yeah.
with that celebration, right?"
Yeah, exactly. Right. That could be like my new alarm clock, you
Yeah.
know? That's like how I start my day. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's be awesome. Go
I love
again.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. And I love
Oh,
your podcast. I checked out your
thank you.
website, everything. You're a very, very beautiful soul doing good things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise. I'm so excited to jump into this. I am a woman in midlife and I have many peers in going through so many things. So there's so many questions bubbling up about this. I like to kickstart all of the episodes with the same, which is just like a bit of your personal story. So what got you into the work you're doing today, or what inspired you towards writing this book? I'd love to know that
Oh.
story.
Well, great loaded question. I've got a
I
loaded
know.
answer for you. So, Women Waking Up, I wrote the book because for any woman out there that feels lost or stuck, invisible, or even just quietly dissatisfied, because I have actually been that woman at the age of 45. I'm 52 now, almost 53. 45 years old, I went through divorce, unemployment. I had at least 150 grand in debt. It was probably worse than that. Almost an empty nest. I was suffering from chronic illness, black mold toxicity, Lyme disease, and we're going to toss in the old menopause just for fun, just for some added hot flashes. And then, unfortunately, within a 6 week period, my dog died, my cat died, and then my brother died.
Oh,
Needless to say, yeah, talk about a big crap sandwich there. Needless to say, I was going through a major depression, probably like the first real depression I ever experienced in my life. Like more than just like a sad day or a sad week. I went into a massive depression, panic attacks, anxiety, you name it, I was going through it. And I came to a place that I thought, Wendy, you've got to do something. Like my life was completely deconstructed, quite obviously. And it was up to me to reconstruct it. And in some ways, that was kind of scary for me. And in other ways, it was exciting. I was like, ooh, I actually am getting it's a dirty slate, but it's somewhat of a clean slate that I get to start over in my life. And I always had this dream of taking off in an RV across the country. And at that moment in my life when everything was falling apart, I thought, God, wouldn't that be cool? Just to escape and just get out of here and just go drive across the country and go hiking and singing with the windows down and cruising into the sunset. But then I thought, well, how in the world would I make that happen when I have no job? I'm in massive amounts of debt. I'm unhealthy. But I kept going back to the dream. And here's what excited me the most. It wasn't so much the dream of the RV itself, right? And the experiences that would come about. I was more excited about the woman in that driver's seat, literally and figuratively, right? The driver's seat of my life. And I was excited about the woman that I could actually become, happy and healthy, financially free, finally doing what she loves, which is writing and podcasting. And I thought, that's what I want, or that is who I want. I want to be that woman behind that steering wheel. And so, slowly but surely, over the course of 2 years, I ended up getting a job, a really good job, a job I had never done before, selling new construction houses in Chicago. So I moved from I moved from Virginia to Illinois, took this job with the intention of, all right, this job is going to get me to my dream job. And paid off all my debt, recovered from the chronic illness, and sought therapy. I did all the things. I mean, I tried anything and everything. I just became my own guinea pig. And over 2 years, ended up rebuilding my life, regaining my health, my finances, and ended up buying the RV. Her name is Felicia, as in,
Bye, Felicia.
Felisha. Even my publisher was like, is that spelled right? I'm like, yes, it's Felisha, as in, bye, Felicia. And bought the RV and then started my podcast, the Midlife Makeover Show. And the rest is history. And the history is still going. That's what's so cool about it. I mean, it is amazing. And I know I kind of gave you the Cliff Notes version and we can break it down more, but it is amazing that when you finally say yes to yourself, when you get out of your own way and you step into your true purpose, not what everybody else wants you to do, but what you truly want to do, and allow your gifts and strengths to just flow. It's amazing how the stars will just align. Things just start showing up. You meet the people that you need to meet. You happen to go to a place where you needed to go to. It's just fascinating to see it all unfold when you just leap and the net will appear, as they say.
Wow, there's so many nuggets to pull from that story. And yes, we will break it down. And I'm going to start with one of the first things that popped up for me, because I think there are a lot of people listening, or people who will listen, that will go through those really hard moments in life. We all have the challenges. But you said there was some fear there and there was some excitement, right? And how would you help people differentiate? Because sometimes we have that adrenaline, we have it pumping through. And is it that I'm scared of what's going on, or is it that there is some possibility in this space? I'd love to speak about that, but that's the needle point of fear and excitement.
I think it's all of it. And I think we shouldn't fear, if you will.
Yes.
Right? I mean, as we know, as human beings, we are meant to have this fear as a form of protection. But when you get quiet enough, and that's the key, when you settle down, you get quiet, you slow down, when you can really figure out, like, is this something I should be scared of? Is this something like a habitual fear that keeps just popping up in my mind? Because as we know, we're creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
Like we've trained ourselves, or society has trained us, family, friends, culture, religion, everything. Like by the time, especially when you get in your 40s and 50s, sometimes we're just like these old robots. Like, I'm just behaving this way and I have no idea why. But you have to really start to question yourself, right? Question your thoughts, your beliefs, your values, your behaviors, every single thing that you do and think, question it. Like, get curious, right?
Yeah.
Like, is this something I really should be fearful of? And I can just remember thinking at that time, and I was like, do I go for this? Do I just completely flip my life? Like, I mean, really, my life was already upside down,
Yeah.
right? I was like, wow, the only way you could just go up from here, right?
Mhm.
And really, I felt like I wanted to flip it right side up. Like, no, we're doing things my way. And
Mm.
I don't know if you're a Seinfeld fan,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and there's that one episode with George Costanza when he does opposite day.
Yeah.
He's like, and I remember thinking that I was like, you know what? What if I just do everything opposite? Because everything I've
Mm.
been doing has not been working out for me. Relationships, my health, like everything. I was like, it was such a mess. And I was like, what if I just go about this a totally different way? And
Yeah.
I did. And I did really start to evaluate every single thing that I was thinking and how I felt about myself and about my relationships and about life in general. And, again, I think the key is to not be scared of who you truly are. Like, because who you truly are is just dying to come out, right?
Yeah.
There's that quote from Marianne Williamson, which I love. That quote
Mm.
changed my life. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And I can remember during that time in my life, I had that quote up on my wall. And I remember thinking, Marianne does not know what she's talking about. Why does she think we should be scared of our light? I'm like, that's silly. And then I thought, actually, she's right. I am scared of my light.
Mm.
Because, I mean, think about that. If you fully stepped into your light, you might have to get out of a relationship. You might have to move. You might have to change careers. You might actually have to change your thoughts and your beliefs. You might literally have to change your whole life.
Have an
Maybe
opposite
not
day.
complete. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. So,
Yes.
I mean, I thought, Wendy, what if? What if you stepped into your light? Who would you
Yeah.
be? What would your life be like?
Yeah.
And I just finally had to give myself permission to do that. And I think that's key for everyone out there. Give yourself
Mhm.
permission to shine, right? I mean that's what one thing I love when again I was like looking at your website and I just love it. All the just the energy and the words. It's like it's so me, it's so windy.
Aw.
One of the words that really stuck out to me was just harmony.
Mm.
And I can remember, I don't know if you've ever been there, it's right across the pond from you at Crepallo in Massachusetts.
Mm.
And I love that place. And in one of the hallways was here another quote. But anyways, it was a quote from Gandhi. And it said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony.
Mm.
And that was another quote for me during that time where I was like, well, how do you actually achieve that? You know? Like how do you
Mhm.
create harmony within yourself, which then creates harmony in your life, in your
Yes.
career, in your relationships, right? And then I thought, well, it does go back to what you think, what you say, what you do are in alignment and in
Mhm.
harmony with your true essence. And I can also remember too thinking like there was all that be your true self, just be your authentic self. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Those words get thrown around so much. I said this
I
just
was like,
yesterday. It's like there's so many different ways to look at that. So, yes, please
yeah,
go
I
on.
know. So I'm going to give you a great analogy, and it's of Michelangelo. So when he carved the statue of David, they asked him, like, well, how did you carve the statue of David? And he said, oh, well, I just chipped away at everything that was not him.
Mhm.
And that's the key to get to the angel in the marble, right? And especially by the time you're at midlife, we're just covered in this chunk of marble. You're like, oh my God, it's so heavy. But as you start to chip away at the things that are not you,
Mm.
toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, the doubts, the perfectionism, all of that, you start chipping away little by little, you get to you, to your authentic self.
Yeah.
And then you can just be.
Mm.
It's more effortless in
Yeah.
living life where you don't have to try so hard anymore. And
Mm.
me, speaking of perfectionism, good night. My name is Wendy and I'm a recovering perfectionist. Like, I mean, y'all, for literally 5 decades, I carried the labels of perfectionism, approval seeker, people pleaser, codependent, you name it. I rocked those suckers too. I mean, I mastered them. You know what I mean? Like, I really slayed them. I was like, well, if I'm going to be a perfectionist, I'm going to go all out.
Yeah.
But it again became habitual, right? It was it was just my way of being during that time as a form of protection. And I
Mm.
realized not until I was 50 years old, and like I said, I'm 52 now, so it's only been a couple years since authentic Wendy has been in this world. But at the age of 50, I realized that because I had been abandoned as a little girl, and I became that perfectionist and the people pleaser to avoid being abandoned. I was always in the fear of someone's going to leave me. I'm going to be left behind. I'm not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be smart enough. And I stayed small so that I could keep everyone here, right here with me
Mm.
to protect myself. But I realized that I became my fear. So even though I was fearing that everyone else was going to abandon me, I was abandoning me
Mm.
by not being myself. I was living life for everybody else. Wendy was on the back burner. She's like, just go back there, let me
Mm.
do. And I think as women, especially because we're such amazing, caring people, that we do that. We have to take care of kids and friends and family, and we're doing all the things, and then you're like, wait, what am I doing? Who am I? You look in the mirror one day and you're like, I have no idea who you are. But everybody else knows who I am because they can rely on me to take care of them. But you're not taking care of yourself.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
I know. There's so
I mean, there's so many beautiful things. Even way back at the in the
yeah.
first part of your story, and you've been touching on it as a thread, which I really
Yes.
love, is the difference between what you want and who you become to have
Yes.
that. You know, as
Yeah.
you said, not what do I want, but who is that woman behind the driver's seat? And I think that's really a really beautiful reminder
Mhm.
and nuance that we have to remember. It's not just the thing out there that we want, but who do we have to become so that
Yeah.
that flows towards us, as
Yeah.
you mentioned, the flow, the effortlessness.
Yeah. You're exactly right because I think we concentrate too much on the what, when, where, and how,
Mm,
instead of the most important factor of them all, which is the who. I sound like an
yes.
owl. Who? But I mean, you have to think about, right? Who do you want to be?
Mm,
And that you get to literally design whoever you want to be. And
absolutely.
and let's just say, for example, you've had a dream of becoming an author, or you have a dream of becoming a musician, or a dream of starting your business of, I don't know, creating paper flowers. I have no idea. Just looking like you have to decide who that person is that is going to fulfill that dream. Who do
Yeah.
you need to be? What is your day-to-day life like? Like,
Mm,
how do you wake up in the morning? How do you eat? How do you meditate? Do you journal? Do you go for a walk? Like, what are the things that you have to do? Who do you need to be to make that dream come true? And I
yeah.
think when you start there, again, like a lot of those things will start to fall in place and you naturally will adopt these new habits and behaviors to match what
Yeah.
you're wanting to create.
Absolutely. And you've
Yeah.
mentioned a couple times about limiting beliefs or thoughts and the way we think. And I know that you talk about this in your book. So the limiting beliefs that we have. So what are some of, if you have a few that you can share, the most common beliefs that women going through all these midlife changes, what are some of the common beliefs and how can we start to overcome it?
Yeah. I would say number one is I'm too old. It's too late. I'm
Mm,
not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I mean, they're all just, it's, you know, just going over and over again in your head and in your heart. And you have to basically call BS on yourself because it's like if you don't get over those limiting beliefs, you will just stay exactly where you are, right? There's the Bronnie Ware, the author of Top Five Regrets of the Dying, and
mm,
the number one regret was living life for everybody else. And it's like even that in itself can be a limiting belief of thinking that if you got over your limiting beliefs, if you stepped into your light, then therefore you're abandoning everybody else because you have to be there for everybody else. But that's not true. It's
mm,
like once you do step into your light and you get over those limiting beliefs and you start rewiring that. I mean, you have to anytime a limiting belief pops up into your mind, you have to completely change it, just completely flip it. If you say, oh, it's too late for me to do this, I'm 60 years old, there's just no way I can do it. Flip that and say, of course I can do this. I'm still breathing. I'm still alive. I still have gifts to share with the world. I'm going for it. And it's up to you to do that, right? I mean, I always say like this right here, your head, your brain, your mind, it's either your best friend or your worst enemy.
yeah.
And you're the one that gets to decide, right? It's either going to be your critic or your cheerleader. And for me, going back 7 years ago, when I when I listened to that voice in my head, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am a monster." I mean, I could just said the worst things about myself or about people in my life or just my life. It was like just so much disrespect. And I
Mm,
thought, no, we have got to change this. And it does, yes, it takes time, but it's so worth it. And I think the number one thing is just awareness. You have to be aware of how you're treating yourself. Like become your own BFF. Like
mm,
literally you end up kind of coaching yourself through life after you become your own BFF, be like, okay, what do I do with this? Or should I and even if you're like having a moment where you're scared or you're nervous about something, you can you can rely on yourself to go, hey, girl, you got this. You're going to be
mm.
just fine. Like I have to coach myself all the time. Especially like
Yeah,
if I'm
I
going
love that.
live on TV, like holy Moses, I'm like, girl, you can do this. Just like,
Yes.
okay, Wonder Woman pose, we can do this. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not, I mean, I know we all know this, but life is short, right? It really, really is. It's like, and I think it's fascinating how much time we waste on these silly little things of just hanging on to these doubts and these fears and the frustrations and the limiting beliefs for what?
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
really sad because I mean you look around, there's just so many amazing, I mean, I think we're all amazing in our own way, right? But oh my gosh, what would the world be like if we just all got over ourselves? Just
Yeah,
God, just
absolutely.
live. Like it's not that hard to be a good human being? Like I get it.
Yes, I love it. And I often talk about the inner dialogue as part of my work because the voice
Yeah.
is, I specialize in that area. And very often, even with that voice, whether you want to call it ego or limiting beliefs or however you hear those things, I can't remember if it was Elizabeth Gilbert's love letters that brought this forward for me. But the really beautiful question as you keep talking about stepping into the light is like, what would love say? And if
Yeah.
if you were love, and light, what
Mm,
would you say? So that kind of changing the internal
mm,
dialogue of,
yeah.
oh, you're rubbish, you can't do it. What would love say? Love wouldn't speak to you like that. And
Yes.
so it's such a beautiful way to reframe those thoughts when we catch them, as you said, that self-awareness and noticing and being still enough to
Yeah.
notice and all of that, which is so important.
Yeah, and plus I think too, just the other day I put something on Instagram about this, but really like when you hold yourself back, you're holding others back. It's a disservice to the
Mm.
whole world, right? I mean, when I think about like I'm amazed, like even like with my book, I think about people that have read it and it's changing their lives.
Yeah.
And like, think about if I had not gotten over myself, think about if I had not stepped into my light. This book
Mm.
wouldn't exist. I wouldn't be talking to you right now. My podcast wouldn't exist. None of it. I'd still be like, on the bathroom floor, bawling my eyes out, going, oh, I feel sorry for myself. I mean, so, but really, all of us, like when you hold yourself back, it's not just hurting you, you're hurting the people around you. You're hurting someone that could also be like, oh, hey, I can do that too. Or maybe let's just say if you're a musician or something, right? Like, what if you didn't put your music out there? Then
Mhm.
that maybe that song could have like helped soothe someone or
Mhm.
help them to dance in the kitchen and enjoy life again. You never know, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we really don't always, know the impact that we can have, but you do know in a sense, like energetically, you feel
Mhm.
it, you sense it, you know it. And like when you're allowing your gifts and your strengths to shine, you're just you don't really care. Like you care so much that you don't care of what the byproduct or the effects are. You just
Mhm.
know that you're being who you should be and you're giving what you need to give to the world in this lifetime.
Yeah, beautiful. Again, less about the how, when, where, but more about
Yeah.
who you are and how you show up. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now I have a
Yeah.
two-part question, Wendy, because I think that, and I will generalize, I think that most women in midlife
Mhm.
on some level are seeking freedom of some sort. Well, however we
Mhm.
that plays out in our existence, in our reality. And in your book, you have a step, you have a formula that's freedom.
Yeah.
I'd love you to kind of break down what those steps are. And then the follow-up is, which would you find are the hardest that women what they find really hard to embrace in that
Yes.
step?
Great question. So when I sat down to write the book, and the book was, it's a prescriptive memoir. So it's definitely a how to. I try to do less fluff and more formula so people aren't like, okay, that's great that you did that, Wendy, but how do I do
But
it,
how?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I looked back over those 2 years of completely changing my life, I was like, okay, how did I actually do that? I mean, I was even questioning myself, like, how did I do that? That was crazy. And then the one word that kept popping out, I'm a fan of acronyms.
Me too.
I love acronyms. I don't know if it's because it's easier for me to remember or everybody else. But freedom kept popping up for me. And I thought, yeah, I want freedom. And it's kind of like the word success. What does success mean?
Yes.
Freedom for me meant, okay, freedom from those limiting beliefs, from my fears, from my doubts, from the debt, from not actually being who I truly am and doing what I love, right? I wanted freedom. So, over the course of those 2 years, I just literally took it step by step of what I did, and that became the Freedom Framework, is the acronym. So, step one is to free yourself of limiting beliefs and self sabotage. Step two is to reset your life by clearing out emotional and physical clutter. Step three is to envision a new future filled with vitality, confidence, and joy. That's probably my favorite step because
Mm.
it's so fun. And everyone forgets to dream anymore. Step four is embrace and explore your passions, your potential, your purpose. We all need to be reminded of that. Step five is detach from tomorrow, start living for today. That's an important one. They're
Mm.
all important. And then step six is own your best self with unshakable boundaries and self worth. And then finally, step seven, which I'm working on currently, master yourself so that you stay grounded with life's inevitable ups and downs. Because, yeah, as we know, like life will always hand us another shit sandwich, but we just have to decide how we're going to handle it, you know? We're going to
Yeah, of
digest it.
course. Of course. There will
So
always
the
be
second,
challenges. Yeah.
yeah, and then the second part of your question is, I would have to say it's the first one to free yourself of the limiting beliefs and self-sabotage. I totally believe, and the more and more that I learn about myself and about life, it all starts right here. It all starts in your mind. It all starts with how you think and what you believe. Because again, creatures of habit. So you have to change the habit of your old self and create a new self if you want to create a different life, period. Like if you want a new tomorrow, quit repeating yesterday. Just
Mm.
go boom, we're
Yeah.
going this way, but we have a tendency to go the other way, which is just back in the past.
Yes. And so, because you love the acronyms and formulas and giving the practical, because I do, I think it's one thing to say, hey, this is what I've done, or look and how this life is transformed, or that, and that's all true and beautiful and celebratory. I
Yes.
think a lot of people listening have the, okay, well, what do I do from where I am? How do I
Yeah.
start? So could we
Mm-hmm.
like start with if it was the I know you spoke about freeing yourself from limiting beliefs, and we did already have some examples of
Yeah.
reframing the thoughts and saying the opposite of what you might normally say to yourself. What are
Yeah.
some of the other first steps, like those baby steps that people can make to step into this freedom?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to give you a really important step. And this is, I think, the most, and this is what I did back then, that moment of my complete breakdown. Take a pen and paper, draw a circle, and then you divide it into 8 triangles, and then title it family, finance, health, career, friends, love, leisure, and growth. I call it the wheel of midlife.
Ah, yes, I'm familiar with it. I love the
Yeah.
midlife piece.
Yes, yeah. And then just number each spoke on the wheel from 1 to 10 and rank each category. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 is totally dissatisfied, like wah wah wah. And 10 is completely satisfied, like woo, I love this category. I'm like rocking it in personal growth, whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then pick whichever category is your lowest.
Hmm.
And that's the area that you start. So if it's finances, as it was, okay, well, going back 7 years ago, y'all, every single category was below a 4. I mean,
Hmm.
because everything was a hot mess. But I knew I had to start somewhere. And I knew for me at that time, the number one thing that I needed to do was get a job. So, like, well, none of this is going to improve until I get a job and improve my finances, right? But here's what's cool. As you work on one category in your life, it spills over into the other categories. As I ventured out and got a job, I was like, ooh, my confidence was boosted, right? I automatically started feeling better. My health improved because I just felt better about myself. I was
Yes.
sleeping more. And then even just having a schedule of going to work every day, it's like I was starting to eat better. I was sleeping better. I was connecting more and just being around people instead of like being, when I was in a depression, it was like I was just laying in bed every single day.
Mhm.
So that I think is the number one way to get unstuck and starting somewhere. So that's the number one thing. I would say the number two thing is really paying attention to your thoughts and any type of, if you think of it like the ticker tape on the news, like if that was your mind and you're watching these thoughts going across on the forefront of your mind, anytime you've got a negative, nasty thought, and I know we have plenty of them, but usually it's like the really bad ones that are loud and they really stick out in like bold print on the screen of your mind.
Mhm.
Stop that ticker tape, take that sucker out, and replace it with something positive over and over and over again. And another bit of advice that I would have that if anyone out there is really struggling and they're having a hard time, try anything and everything. Like, I mean, go all out on your personal development. Try reading, listening to podcasts, journaling, meditating, listening to music, like just do it all. Like we just be like, wow. And then, I mean, and have fun with it. Like be curious of what you're learning and who you're becoming in the process. I mean,
Mm,
become your own guinea pig. It's like your own little experiment. It's like, ooh,
yes.
let me see what I can do.
What I love about that piece of advice is in this day and age with technology, with all the things that are
Mm,
available to us, we can sometimes feel like, well, there's so many things to do. I'm not going to do any because there's so many. Or we think, I'm just going to follow this one thing. And I think
yeah.
that curious piece and exploration and play piece that I know you bring play into your work is a
Mm.
really beautiful way of shifting energy, but also for you to find what works for you.
You are so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're completely right. I mean, just grab your phone and there's so many tons, like tons of resources. It's crazy. I
Yes.
mean, even like you have courses, right? I
Yes.
mean, everyone should just dabble a little bit of everything. And you never
Mm,
know where that's going to lead, right? Like I think of each thing as being like a crumb, and then you're like, oh, okay, I enjoyed that. And you never know if like that's going to lead to something else, that lead to someone else, to who knows? But
yes.
I mean, I kind of think of life as like a buffet, right? You go up, you sample what you want, you know? If you like it, cool, now you know. And if you don't like
Mm.
it, okay, whatever. You don't go back for more. Or
Now
you
you
don't go
know.
back for say you're like, I ain't going back for that. I'm not going back for the liver and onions, you know? But I mean, you have this one little lifetime. Just
Mm,
enjoy it. Go sample, go do things and live, like truly live, not
yeah.
just existing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. We have, oh gosh, we have so much that we could do with this life.
I
So
know. I
make
know.
that
I'm
choice
like,
now. Make
now
a
I'm
choice
kind of like
now.
nervous. I was like, oh my God, I have so much to do. I'm like, but right, but then when you kind of get into your groove with life,
Yeah.
you really want to take care of yourself even more. You become even more protective of your energy and your
Yes.
time and all of that. Like I'm a total energy snob now. I'm like, ooh, 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 like
No
if there's
thanks. No
like,
thanks.
yeah, exactly. Like be
I,
very careful of the energy that you're putting out and the
yes.
energy that's coming in.
I hear that a lot from women in the 50s. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like back then that was okay. Now, no way.
Yes.
That's just
You're
that
like,
there's just a no care attitude after a point.
yeah, I know exactly. I
So
know. It's
fun.
a beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah.
What are super drainers? Because you talk about that, and I can imagine
Oh.
that there's so many. Give us a few examples of what those super drainers are that you talk about in the book.
Yeah, so I think it's chapter 2 actually is about discovering which is your superhero. So I have 6 superheroes:
Yes.
Spark, Sage, Halo, Harmony, Endura, and then there's one more. Did I say Serenity? And Serenity.
Ooh.
And so you discover which superhero that you are. Why? Because again, to be reminded of your strengths and your talents and your gifts and to tap back into that, right? And we all have super drainers. They could be anything like people, places, things, events that pull you down. And they
Mm,
can be different for everyone. Like what would bother superhero Halo may not bother Spark, right? Like
right.
if you can imagine, I'm superhero Spark. Lots of high energy, but also there's super boosters too, things that can boost your
Yeah.
strengths, right? So for me, I know those things are like meditation, getting good rest, eating
Mhm.
well. So I know like if I'm a little, off, if I'm having an off day or off week, I'm like, okay, girl, it's time to get some good sleep. It's time to start saying no to like doing too much stuff. I need to chill. I need to relax. And it's just learning who you are,
Mm,
right? Your authentic self. It's,
yeah.
it's really, but even listening to your authentic self and really, really taking action and what works well for you. I mean, one of the things I love about midlife is it's like you're old enough to know what did and did not work in your 20s and 30s, right? But then you're still young enough to do something about it.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but like if it's just because what's showing up on my algorithm, But in the midlife space, women and their, I know, right? Like, I'm like, is this only showing up on my feed? But I mean, especially women in their 50s and 60s, oh my God, they are kicking some serious ass. And it's just
Mm.
like, whoa, check her out, which is so nice to see. Because again, and then it gives other women permission to be like, okay, I'm going for it too. She's doing it. I'm doing it too. And it's just like,
So it's not too late. Oh,
never too late. Yeah,
yeah.
never
Okay, I
too
can do it
late.
too. Love it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're breathing, it's not too late. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love that. I don't know if I caught all of those kind of superheroes, but because I like
Yeah.
acronyms as well, that was a big she.
Yep. I'm so glad you caught that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. You know what? That was not intentional. When
That's
I
so
when I
cool.
when I created that, and I have like if you go to mysuperheroquiz.com, you can actually take it's a free quiz and you can find out which superhero that you are. But when I created those, I had no idea. And I was like, "Ooh, that says she." I was like, "Oh my God, it says she." I was like, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
that's
It's
so
neat
cool.
though. And I get such great feedback about it because it's like to find out which superhero that you are. And then it tells you your super boosters, your super words, your super
Yeah.
drainers, your super statement. And it's all quite super de-duper. So
I
yeah,
love
it's
it. I'll
neat.
make sure to put that link as well so our listeners
Yeah,
can jump on and do that quiz. I will definitely
yeah,
do it. My
yeah.
superquiz.com, superhero quiz. Did you say super quiz or superhero quiz?
It's
Right.
mysuperheroquiz.com. And
Beautiful.
I'm gonna guess that you're probably, well, I'm gonna say you're probably Harmony.
Ooh.
Don't you think you would naturally, you could, I don't know, you're a toggle between like a halo and a harmony. Whenever I say,
Ooh,
because
love
it's
it.
funny, I get the reports back like, oh, you have a new superhero. And anytime I get a halo or harmony, I'm like, oh, because I can just tell they're so angelic, they're just like, they're like their little peaceful light workers out there in the world.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, I
By the way, this
definitely will tell you when I've done it.
yeah, yeah. By the way, this is so random, but I don't know if you've ever thought this, but universe is one song.
Mhm.
And I've always thought about that, like with each one of us being a note that makes up the song.
Yes.
I mean, and to know that you yourself, as the unique note that you are in the
Mm.
universe, is so important and so beautiful as it is.
Yes, and that
Yeah.
comes back to the who you are and that how you show up.
Yeah.
It's how do you allow yourself to sound you and
Yes.
be that
Yes.
frequency and vibration. I love that so much. Yes, you're
I
speaking my
know.
language.
I
So I
figured
love
you'd like that.
I know. I love a lot of these terms. So I'm going to go to this one next. What's the stop, drop, and roll method? Because
Ooh.
I just think that's fun. Yeah, tell me about that one.
So that goes back to the thinking, like to stop your stinking thinking. So
Mm,
again, anytime if you have a nasty thought or that limiting belief creeps in, just imagine like one of those huge, like a huge red stop sign, like flashing up on the screen. You're like, and then imagine that nasty thought in the palm of your hand, and it's almost like it's burning. It's like, and then drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. I wish I could sing. Drop it like it's hot. And then roll in with a positive, empowering thought or statement.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's the old, yeah, stop, drop, and roll. Did you do that when you
I
were a
love
kid? Yeah.
I love that stop, drop, and roll. But I wanted to bring it up because I remember we spoke about thoughts and I didn't bring it up
Yeah.
at the beginning, but I thought, here's another method. Really beautiful. I like
Yeah,
the
it's
idea
simple.
of it being in your palm and burning. For me, there out of the
Yeah.
three things, there's something in that that's quite interesting, which is like,
Hmm.
this does not feel good in my system. This
Yeah.
doesn't help me. This doesn't serve me. I don't want it. Let it go.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
that's a breath of fresh air even before the roll.
I know it's true, right?
You
Just
know.
having the awareness and be like, oh, this is not good for me. No,
Mm.
like you're literally like taking a stand against yourself, right?
Yeah.
And taking a stand for yourself, for your true self, and be like, we are not doing this anymore. I mean, I had to do that for me. I was like, no, we are done. No,
Yeah.
not doing this anymore. I'm not staying stuck. No, 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 no.
That's it.
I
Done.
mean, you have to save yourself. You have
Mm.
to. because
Mm.
you are worthy of being saved. Save yourself. Do whatever you got to do. And yes, you'll have to do the work. Like I always say, I'm a work in progress, but you're not going to make progress unless you do the work, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. It's conscious intention and bringing
Yeah,
that into any action or anything that you want to do. I love that so
yeah,
much. So women, 40s, 50s, 60s, we're all going through those changes. And I know you went
yeah,
through many things in one short space of time.
yeah,
One might call it a dark night of the soul. And I know that we all experience those in different
yeah.
stages, different ways. What are some of the ways that you've touched on some, but I'll bring it
Hmm.
round fully. What are some of the ways that you would advise people to maybe not even just get out of this dark night of the soul, but claim it in reverence and sacred understanding of what it's there to serve?
I love that you said that. Yeah, I know it's hard to embrace it, but you have to embrace it. And I
Mm.
kind of think of it as like a sacred initiation into
Mhm.
the deeper parts of your truest self, right?
Yeah.
And uncover all that. I mean, I went through plenty of dark nights of the soul, right? But if you imagine, like, if you're in a dark tunnel and you see this tiny little light up ahead, just know that the light is still there. You're going to be all right, and embrace it. Seek help for sure. I
Mhm.
mean, I had my Aunt Annie on speed dial. I had my therapist, my Aunt Annie, and my best friend Amy and Kay. Like, have your peeps that you reach out. Don't do it alone,
Yes.
right? Journal, meditate, take walks, just a lot. Because if it's, don't let it stay stuck, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I think of emotions as energy in motion, right?
Yes.
Emotions are supposed to flow through you. So allow this dark night to pass. Just go, okay, what do you got? What do you, like, literally talk to it if you have to. Like, what you got? What you going to teach me?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, right? Like, and there is definitely something that'll teach you. I mean, a lot. It taught me so much. I mean, it sounds silly for me to say that I'm so grateful for all my losses and challenges in life. So amazing. But really I am because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be able to step out there in the world to teach others. I mean,
Mhm.
I've had people like, "What are your credentials?" I was like, "My life, my life." Those are my credentials.
Yes.
But right, like we end up teaching what we've lived and learned. And that's the best. I mean, there are things that I'm sure there's things that you've been through that I haven't been through that I would learn from you because
Sure.
you've lived it,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
But to live it is to have the wisdom. There's experience and there's knowledge, but you combine the two and then you have wisdom.
Yes.
So allow it to teach you whatever it needs to teach you about yourself and about your life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's one of my well, a quote that certainly helps me going through a very dark night of the soul, heartbreak, is that God breaks your heart so that the light can shine through. And I
Oh,
think that's such an interesting one. I think I read it from Rumi as well, in a slightly different way,
yeah.
but so beautiful. It's like it's all breaking open for the light to shine through, and it
Yes.
hurts like hell. But when
Yeah.
you allow, as you say, the emotions to flow and allow the spotlight to come in and say, this is what I'm wanting you to look
Yeah.
at here, Simone, and then you're
Yes.
able to go, I wouldn't have seen that if I didn't feel this,
Yeah.
and then being
Yeah.
able to shift into something else. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love that you said the breaking open. Yeah. It's like you're not broken, you're breaking open, right? Like there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with you. And
No.
remind yourself you're a human being being human.
Mm.
That's one of the things I learned in positive psychology was as opposed to negative psychology. I should come out with that one. No. But right, like that, I mean, it's a simple reminder of yes, you're a human being. Cut yourself
Yeah.
some slack. Like
Yeah.
we are emotional creatures. We're like, it's just part of it. But then like once you learn how to kind of maneuver through life as the human being that you are, then
Mm.
just then you can relax a little bit more.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
do speak about the quiet moments, the reflection, the slowing down and
Mm,
reaching out for help. we know what it's like at this age, but also in the world that we're living in, very fast paced, everything's shifting so quickly,
Yeah.
especially in these times. What are
Yeah.
some of the ways that you recommend women midlife
Hmm.
to really slow down, take the sacred pause?
Yeah.
How do you advise people to do that when it feels impossible? Because for some people it feels that way.
It does, but you know what? I mean, I even had the habit of being busy. I was like, even busyness is a habit, like, oh,
Mhm.
but then, for me, 2 decades of running kids around, I have three boys, they're older now, they're men, grown men. But I was still in the habit of thinking like I'm busy, and I was just really wasting a lot of time. I was like, I was working harder, but not smarter, right? And
Mhm.
if you ask yourself, like, okay, do I have an extra 15 minutes here in my day? I mean, truly, like, could I take 15 minutes to meditate? Could I take 15 minutes to just sit and enjoy my tea without scrolling on my phone? Yes, you
Yes.
do, right? You have to make yourself a priority.
Mhm.
And your time that the again, kind of like repeating yesterday. Well, what you did yesterday, if that wasn't working, then you've got to change it today
Yes.
and just start doing it. And if you've actually, I have a new habit that I'm going to implement maybe tomorrow. But one of the things, because I'm in the process of writing another book and creating more online courses, and I know what helps my creativity, and that is walking,
Mm.
meditating, journaling. And the only way I was able to write this book was I got up at 4:30, 5 a.m. every morning, did my meditation, I did my journaling, got my coffee, and I would sit there and I would write. And when it was still dark out, I loved it.
Mm.
And one of the things I wanted to do is adding that back in, my 5 a.m.s, and
Yes.
then also taking walks. Walks help me. They just, I don't know what it is, like just taking a walk in the city or going for a hike. I'm able to just think and actually not think,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is like, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Walking helps to reset the nervous system, all the oxygen, everything we know, it keeps the energy flowing. So I
Yeah.
love that. We have very similar practices.
Yeah.
I tend to journal mostly when I'm going through something as opposed
Yeah.
to that's my main practice, but sounding and meditation and walking and oh yeah, love it.
Can I give you a little journaling trick?
Yes.
Um, and this is something because like when, especially for people out there, they're like, if they live with someone and they're like, I really want to journal about, my darkest moments and feelings. We all have them, right? But they're like, but if I put that on paper, what if they see it? Then you end up not writing and then it stays stuck in you, right?
Mm.
So here's a little trick. Just in your journal on one piece of paper. I always do 2 pages, but it's on the same page. I'll explain. So do your journaling, and then flip your journal upside down and write over what you just wrote.
Mm.
So it looks like, I wish I had my journal with me right here, but it looks just like it looks like a kid was like just scribbling. You can't read it, and you just feel that you're able to express yourself without fear of, oh my gosh, what if somebody finds this one day? What if somebody reads
Mm.
this? And it allows you just to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the point of getting it out is very important for
Yes.
sure. And journaling is definitely a beautiful one of the beautiful ways to do
Yeah.
it. I love journaling, and for me, I love communing with trees. I tell the trees
Mm.
everything, and they recycle it. I can hear the whispers. They're probably chatting amongst themselves about everything I shared, but I love that.
They're like, here comes Simone again. Here she
Yeah, guys, get ready. Grab your morning dew. Let's go.
They're like, open up your ears. Here she comes. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I love that. So you also have a podcast, which is
Yes.
awesome. And I know
Yeah.
that the podcast is all about midlife as well, the Midlife Makeover Show. So I'm curious about some of the things that have come up on that for you, because I know you've written this book and you're writing some more, and there's so many beautiful things that you're sharing in your work. What are some of the things that have come up in the podcasts that maybe have shaped or influenced, the
Probably
tone of your book?
everything. Oh my
Everything.
gosh. Like, I love it, y'all. I mean, sometimes when I'm interviewing someone, just like you're interviewing me, I'm like, well, this is like a little workshop for a little motivational workshop for
Yeah.
myself. I'm just thinking everyone else just gets to benefit by listening to it.
Mhm.
But I've learned so much about the things that I didn't know, right? Like, I'm not an expert in everything, believe it or not. But then I end up, right, I bring experts onto the show of things that I don't know about, right? Whether
Yes.
that could be, even though I went through divorce, even a different angle on divorce and how to manage divorce, right? Or
Mhm.
empty nest or career changes. Hello, menopause. And I'm going to admit right here, right now, y'all, I had never heard of perimenopause until I started my podcast. I was like, what is this? I was like, Perry? Who the heck is Perry? I was like, what? And I was like, and that's what I was going through for 10 years? I was like, nobody told me. Like, oh my God. So yeah, I mean, I learn stuff every single week on my own show just by listening to them. It is awesome. And I love that. I mean, it's one thing I love about podcasting, right? I mean, obviously you too. It's like you're getting to, listen to everyone else's wisdom, and that wisdom is going all over the world, which is crazy. So, and the
Mm.
impact that you can have with that, the butterfly effect, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I've learned so much from the people on my show. I'm so, so grateful for that. I'm so glad I stepped in my light.
Oh,
Good. I
me
can't
too.
imagine.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad you
Whew.
did.
My gosh, I'd still be like, wah, wah. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I know this is always a funny question to ask authors, because you want people to take away from your book all the things they need to take away from your book. But if you could choose one thing that was the most important thing that you thought, I want women waking up to see
Mm.
this, to know this, what's that important thing you want the readers to pick up on in the book?
The most important thing is to know that you're not too old. It's not too late. And midlife, oh my gosh, it's not a crisis. It's a catalyst. It's the beginning of the most beautiful chapter yet. And I'll even add to that on a more global perspective that women need to wake up because the world needs us.
Mm,
Yeah.
a hold to that. Ain't that the truth?
That's a bye, Felicia, right there. Bye, Felicia.
What's next? You said you're writing a new book and you've got
Yes.
courses and things like that that you're creating. Tell us a bit about the work that you're doing and how people can find you, Wendy.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I actually there's a course that I have. It's called Freedom at Midlife. Yes, there's that word again. I
Yeah.
know. But basically, because I realized, I was like, there's some people that love to read, and they'll actually sit there and do all the work inside the book by themselves. And then there's the course people that like courses. So if you're one of those, you can do the Freedom at Midlife program. It's the same material that's in the book, but it's just in like with video tutorials and all that fun
Mm.
stuff. And I'm actually right now rolling out some mini courses because I feel that there are some people out there, myself included, they're kind of tired of the big, hefty programs that take 6, 7 weeks. They're like, can we just do this in bite-sized pieces?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be rolling out some new courses here in the next few weeks, and I'm super duper excited about everything from setting boundaries to being triggered to, what do you do after an empty nest, reigniting your spark. I mean, yeah, you name it, I'm going to roll out with it. And the best place to find me, wendyvalentine.com. The book is sold everywhere. Good old Amazon. It's on
Yeah.
Amazon,
Wherever
even
you get
in
your
the
books, you'll
UK.
find it.
Actually, I think it just rolled out in the UK. I think it was in October
Yeah.
that it just came out.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So you can get it on Amazon. And there's over $500 in bonuses that come with the book. There's a
Mm.
playbook, there's a Spotify playlist, there's a workshop, there's meditations. I have a meditation bundle that comes with the book. So all sorts of goodies. I try to take a very holistic approach to it and leave nothing out. And then
Yeah.
of course with the book too, you get to read my story. My story is
Mm.
woven in there.
And what a story. I mean, thank you
Yeah,
for sharing about it so
thank
openly
you.
and vulnerably, because there was a
Yeah.
lot in that. But wow, well, yes to all of that amazing stuff. Make sure to go and check out Wendy's book. I'll put all the links, of course, with this episode. And Wendy, I thank you. I celebrate you and I celebrate all you're doing to help women wake
Yes.
up,
Wake up, girls.
and
We gotta do
yeah,
this.
and just
Yeah.
reclaim and step into our potential. I love that so, so, so much.
Thank you so much, Simone. You're awesome. I can
Thank
tell
you.
you're already awake.
Ah, most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know.
Yes. So I ask all of my guests the same question to wrap up the podcast, and that is, what is your soulful sound to the world? And that's just a prayer or desire that you wish for the world.
My soulful sound, my prayer or wish for the world.
Yeah.
Hmm. Gosh, I really wish for the world to be in harmony and
Mm,
to just love themselves and love each other.
mm.
That's a dream, but I think it's achievable.
Oh, yes, and
Mhm.
yes. Let's start at home with us. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
If you loved this episode, hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to check out our other episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in, sending you love, healing, and sound wherever you are.